Apology for being late. That's it. Sorry. Back in the swing of this thing. So it was for good reason. I was packing food for the homeless and other good PR things. Hey. What's that?
What did I get?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, it's there's a lot of rice upstairs on the concourse. Extra. My hands are not near as good as they should be.
Coach, how do you feel like? Where's your team after 2 games?
We got tested, and we got exposed in a lot of areas, so it was good. Exactly what we had hoped for. I won't really know after watching opening games yesterday around the country. I think there were 65 or 70 of them. Exhibition game to a real game is different. So if we can translate what we did good and clean up a little bit of the bad, I think we'll get off to a good start. New Orleans played LSU on Tuesday, so we got a chance to see them, and they'll be they'll be a little bit ahead of us because they've already played a game. So I'm excited to see. We're a little banged up. Had a day off yesterday and had a couple of kids that couldn't handle a day off, and we've got some injuries that we're going to have to deal with today in practice, so we'll see how it goes.
Who are the injuries?
Kiera and Destiny Oberg, our size.
Enough to prevent them from playing in the game?
Yes.
What do you do with those?
Punt. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to see. I think we play with – obviously you focus on what you do well. We've played small, but we'll be playing incredibly small without, two of our biggest ones. So we'll play around what we do. We'll probably play a little faster. We'll have to play some zone defense, but we'll see how it goes. This will be our first chance to get together. I haven't even seen them since we got back.
Coach, elementary school day is just so unique and
Yeah.
loud and crazy. What is it specifically about this game that's exciting to open the season this way, and then how much your players look forward to that too?
Because you see the excitement in those little kids' eyes. At first, they're excited to be out of school on a Friday. Then they're excited to get cotton candy and sodas and everything. And then they get excited for the games. So you don't have to worry about energizing our kids. They get excited by seeing them. And then just the buildup of it. Around town this week, I had a lot of people stopping me saying, hey, my kids are coming to the game on Friday. They're really looking forward to it. So it gives us a chance to remind our kids that there's always little eyes watching them. There'll be 5,000 sets of them watching them. And I think it's a great reminder for our kids to see all that. Plus, great way to kick the season off. It's become a really cool tradition that they started back here, and our kids are always excited about it.
I asked you some about Michaela Daniels, but just specifically as you get started to start the season tomorrow, why do you think that she's ready to be the role that she's in right now and really what you've seen from her?
I give first and foremost her mother and father the most credit for the way they raised her. And then her high school coaches and her summer league coaches for the positions they've put her in. They've just done a great job of helping her to be very grounded, be very mature, be very coachable. She played for a very, very good high school coach and a really strong summer league program. But it all goes back to that mom and that dad that put her in positions, and then it comes down to her executing and moving far away from home and accepting the leadership of being a freshman point guard. So it's a lot of people. But it goes back to the way she was raised up and the way she's been shaped and molded for a long time. You'll meet them, you'll see them around games, and you'll see why it's easy to see that.
Do you do anything different with the early morning tip-off?
Yeah, we don't take shoot-arounds. If you do the math on that, you try to eat 3.5, 4 hours before the game. It gets pretty early, so we usually don't do shoot-arounds even before noon games. So we'll have to be ready today and tomorrow. You got to have your hay in the barn by Thursday. It's a little bit of a different day. We play enough early games, 11 o'clock games, but it is the first one of the year. So I'll give the kids their legs. We won't practice near as long today or tomorrow because I want them to be fresh. But, yeah, there's a few little things. But kind of like the elementary kids, our kids will be a little bit excited too. They don't have Friday class either, so that's exciting for them.
What's Mason's status at this point?
Same. Still just we were waiting to see. She has out of the boot. She's put a little weight on it, but it's a kind of a pain thing to see where we go there. So still, we weren't anticipating it this early in the year anyway, so we can focus on the other kids. But hers is still a couple weeks out before we even really take another look at it.
Exciting to see. We've talked a lot in the preseason about Dungy and Ramirez together.
Yep.
Pretty exciting to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, they had some really good moments during our exhibition. They both had I thought Chelsea was very steady, and Amber had 3 really good quarters. She's, as we know, we've said all along, she can get really, really streaky. So I'm anxious to see how we manage a 40-minute game. You know, we played some rotations in the 2 exhibitions a little bit to see and give people chances. We'll start to tighten that up a little bit. So excited to see how over the course of 40 minutes we can maneuver those 2 around the different spots on the floor. Create some matchups, but I think we saw some glimpses of what it can be like.
Just kind of what's your starting 5?
Yeah, we haven't decided. We were just talking about it, and that's in the office. I think we've got a lot of different ways we can go, and then you throw this curveball at us that we got yesterday. So what I like to look for is the best potential starting and finishing lineup. And sometimes that affects who you start. So I don't know exactly who the 5 will be. I think you could count on Chelsea and Amber being in there with Taylor. And then I think we're going to see what happens with the other 2 spots. It's been very competitive, very close. Starting matters for about 5 minutes when we announce the starting lineups. You know, they like to have their name come out and throw the ball out and see their name on the screen, but we're going to have to figure out our rotations, not only to start the game, but that first substitution, that second substitution of the second quarter, how it stacks up. With these injuries, we might have to do some juggling, but we just hadn't had time to see anything on the floor yet to know. So we probably won't do that till tomorrow.
Long-term injuries, or these?
Could be. Yeah,
What do they
could
have?
be. I don't even know. Hey, Shaw.